Somewhere in the quiet heart of the mountain, a cave had waited for eons, its secrets bound in molten stone and whispered by the pulse of the earth itself. The day it opened, Ling Han stepped forward, the nine heavens flame dancing along his skin, illuminating the remnants of a dwarven village long thought lost, Alchemy. Emperor of the Divine Dao, chapter 1831 to 1832, the last descendants of a dying race peer up at him, fragile yet brimming with latent destiny, while a Heavenly Dao Jade rests on a pedestal, glowing with the patience of countless millennia. Small Tower's words hum like a caution in Ling Han's mind. There are powers, Roc Palace, Ninth Heaven celestial kings, hidden Heavenly Venerates that move beyond comprehension, and knowledge of them too soon could spell death. With a single step, the fate of two infants, a legendary Jade, and perhaps the course of history itself, hangs in the balance. What path will Ling Han carve in this nexus of mortal courage and celestial might? The mountain had kept its secrets for countless years, guarding them beneath layers of stone and silence. Yet as the sun passed another cycle, the unyielding rocks before Ling Han began to shimmer, their solidity softening until a hidden passage revealed itself, like a dragon opening its jaws. The power of the Heavenly Dao Jade, drawn from the very source power of Earth, had long been known for such miraculous feats, and today it whispered its ancient invitation. Ling Han moved with purpose, yet calm precision, his thoughts briefly wandering to the spoils left behind by Luo Changfeng and Zihe Bingyun. The spatial god tools, gleaming faintly even in the cave's dim light, were plundered with deft hands, each artifact whispering the weight of celestial king-tier wealth. Indeed, the descendants of such a force always left an imposing trail, and Ling Han felt both respect and the thrill of discovery mingle within him. Outside, the Empress and bewitching Maiden Ru lingered. They were not of the dwarf lineage, nor did they possess celestial king-tier techniques, and to confront the Heavenly Dao Jade's regulation would be courting death. Ling Han, however, stood shielded by the nine heavens flame, his mastery over the fire element amplified by the flame control technique, a dance of heat and brilliance that bent the cave's atmosphere to his will. The interior was alive with subtle light. Stalactites glimmered like frozen stars, casting a serene glow over the modest cavern. Ling Han's footsteps carried him only half a mile before the passage ended abruptly. There, a flat rock, unlike the jagged stones around it, caught his eye. On it lay two infants, mere months old, their eyes wide with silent curiosity. They were dwarves birthed from the Heavenly Dao Jade itself, a living testament that the race had not vanished completely. Ling Han lifted them gently, a rueful smile tugging at his lips. With a wave of his hand, he released the fallen dwarves from the Black Tower, granting them a resting place, a memorial for a tribe lost to time, but not forgotten. Ahead, a stone pedestal commanded attention, holding a pearl radiating gentle light. On closer inspection, the gem was jade, seemingly untouched by mortal hands. It was a creation of heaven and earth, born of natural artistry rather than human craft. Small Tower's voice trembled with reverence. Heavenly Dao Jade, rare beyond reckoning. To nurture even one requires the span of an epoch. In truth, the Jade's formation was a dance of hundreds of millions of years, each moment of time folding into the fabric of its creation, a testament to patience and cosmic will. Ling Han's mind raced. Celestial kings, once scarce, now countless, could their sex house entire troves of Heavenly Dao Jade? Small Tower nodded, hesitation giving way to truth. Lifespans unbound by ordinary measures allowed celestial kings centuries, even millennia, to gather such treasures. Roc Palace, for example, was one such bastion of accumulation, a name that sent a shiver through Ling Han's pulse. Roc Palace, Ling Han murmured, curiosity alight. Small Tower's admission revealed connections older and deeper than he expected. Our paths intertwined with theirs, it said, neither evading nor embellishing. Ling Han's shock was palpable. His thoughts flashed to the imperial empress of the lower realm, whose demise now seemed far from coincidental. Hey, coincidence is a luxury this world cannot afford, Small Tower intoned, hinting at secrets woven into the fabric of destiny itself. The mention of a ninth heaven celestial king, the feared old witch, stirred awe and disbelief in Ling Han. That frail figure, a walking cane her only companion, wielded powers that dwarfed imagination. Questions poured from him. Why had this witch not discovered Small Tower? Why had they not acknowledged each other? Small Tower's answers were deliberate, measured. The Black Tower, its secrecy absolute, could elude even a ninth heaven celestial king. Trust was scarce, and premature exposure to the celestial realm could stunt his path to becoming a heavenly venerable. Ling Han's mind burned with questions, yet Small Tower silenced him with urgency. Retrieve the Heavenly Dao Jade and strengthen your cultivation. Too many truths now would invite death. The path ahead demanded patience and power. The cave hummed with the regulation of the great Dao. For any being aside from dwarves sharing the Jade's essence, entry meant immediate obliteration. Ling Han, however, with the nine heavens flame roaring around him, matched the cave's source power with his own. A clash of elemental wills. Source powers of heaven and earth intertwined in a delicate balance, each neither superior nor inferior. The Xuanyin source water waited as backup, but the flame alone was sufficient to carry him forward. The closer Ling Han approached, the more the Heavenly Dao Jade radiated, its brilliance blinding, like a miniature sun compressing the very laws of the Dao into light. With measured resolve, he reached the pedestal, lifting the Jade with hands steady despite the overwhelming aura. The Black Tower accepted it without resistance, the process smooth and silent, the Jade's power now his to command. A subtle tremor shivered through the cavern. The mountain whispered of endings. The era of dwarves birthed from this place was concluded. The two infants in Ling Han's embrace were the last of their kind. A new fate awaited them, one where human worlds and love would shape their legacy. Ling Han's confidence in this new path warmed him. He would safeguard their future. Small Tower, is this Jade enough for more than one? Ling Han inquired, hope and consideration for the Empress and who knew mingling in his voice. Small Tower's response was curt yet laden with authority. The Jade was not for two. Disappointment briefly shadowed Ling Han's face, yet it was swiftly replaced by a twist of fortune. Enough for three, Small Tower added, leaving Ling Han with both relief and the subtle thrill of destiny's favor. In the stillness of the cave, with flame and jade, past and future, power and secrecy, Ling Han stood, a lone cultivator shaping fates, guided by celestial whispers, ready to stride into the unfolding tapestry of the martial world. In the quiet of the ancient chamber, Ling Han's gaze fell upon the astonishing scene before him. 3 figures, 3 lives, stood cradled in his arms. A jolt of shock surged through him, swiftly replaced by a tide of exhilaration. This mischievous, insufferable Small Tower had toyed with his expectations, igniting needless worry, only to deliver this astonishing twist. Ling Han's heart could not help but swell with relief and curiosity in equal measure. 3, he murmured, eyes narrowing in disbelief. Didn't you say the Heavenly Dao Jade could only sustain 2 at most? The tower's voice, irreverent as ever, drifted into the air. If you think 3 is too many, feel free to discard whatever remains, equipped with shameless audacity. Ling Han could only shake his head, a rueful smile touching his lips, acknowledging the tower's irrepressible triumph. Cradling the infants carefully, Ling Han stepped into the light of the outside world. Though called infants, these little dwarves were no mere children. They had reached the full stature of their kind upon birth. Ling Han's brow furrowed. Is there a way for them to grow into normal humans? He asked, turning to Small Tower with a hint of hope. The tower let out a scoffing laugh. You truly do not understand. Their small stature is born of cultivation, or rather the lack of it. Should their inner energy flourish, their bodies would naturally expand. Why fret over what will inevitably unfold? Ling Han could only rub his chin, inwardly acknowledging the tower's perpetual air of condescension. There seemed no moment when he could escape being looked down upon. Sighing, he thought of the tower's tsundere-like tendencies and its playful disrespect, a rare, irascible companion that seemed to find delight in undermining its master. A faint, mock-apologetic tone floated from the tower. Heh, my deepest regrets, it said, feigning sweetness, as if to provoke Ling Han further. Ling Han mused silently on the bond between the tower and the large black dog. Both shared a penchant for teasing, their personalities seeming like reflections of the hand that had forged them. The true character of their master, the architect of the Tower of 3 Realms, became all the more enigmatic. When Ling Han emerged with the two little ones, the bewitching maiden Ru and the Empress blinked in astonishment. Ye? Their voices trembled with curiosity and incredulity. You ventured into the treasure chamber and returned with two infants? Ling Han's brief explanation revealed the truth. The last descendants of a diminutive dwarf race, fragile yet precious, now entrusted to his care. The air seemed to pulse with the weight of this revelation, the final chapter of an ancient lineage entrusted to the hands of a lone cultivator. Let us depart, Ling Han declared, and together, the trio began their journey back. Behind them, the chamber, having fulfilled its purpose, quietly faded back toward its dormant state, its energy settling like a river returning to calm. The Heavenly Dao Jade, that storied relic, remained a secret between Ling Han and the Empress. Though bewitching maiden Ru had shared their tribulations, Ling Han's heart could not permit her a share. Their bond had never been forged in the fires of intimacy or trust, and to extend such a treasure purely for companionship would be unthinkable. Meanwhile, the Heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden had not yet attained the severing mundane tier. Had she done so, the Jade might have compensated for her previous shortcomings, even if she could not bend the heavens and earth itself. Yet the span from mortality to immortality was a chasm of 100 million years, a crucible no mere mortal could hasten, even with ceaseless celestial medicines. The gulf was absolute, the divide between kingly prodigies and ordinary cultivators, unbridgeable in any short time. By the dawn of the next day, the ascending dragon palace sprawled before them, unguarded and silent. Beyond it, the volcano loomed, a living testament to the wrath of nature. Black smoke billowed from its crater, sulphurous winds curling around the travelers like phantom hands. The infants were entrusted to the Black Tower, where the Heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden, bored and idle, could find purpose in tending them, her time passing as centuries might in stillness. Bewitching Maiden Ru's eyes flared with indignation. I will repay your life-saving debt, she vowed, a mixture of pride and frustration lacing her voice. Ling Han's disregard for her charms left her questioning her own power. Was she truly the world-shaking enchantress she imagined herself to be? Yet Ling Han, a man untouchable and deadly, had earned his caution. His path left no room for reckless entanglements. The purity sect's safety depended upon a careful distance from a cultivator whose enemies spanned realms and whose witnesses survived only through fate's mercy. Ling Han's expression softened only slightly as he tossed a jade vial casually to her. Bewitching Maiden Ru caught it, puzzled. What is this? She demanded. Tea leaves, came the effortless reply. As Ling Han's arm brushed the Empress's slender waist, his focus resolute as they pressed onward. The Empress's thoughts flickered with mild irritation. Such treasures were not hers to give, yet Ling Han's determination overrode her reluctance. She would trust in fate and her own capabilities. The future held limitless possibility. Even if bewitching Maiden Ru should marry, even if the bride were spirited away by her hand, fury danced in bewitching Maiden Ru's eyes. The vial seemed almost a mockery after their shared trials, but wisdom restrained her. Better to savor the potential hidden within the precious tea leaves, born from the mother tree itself, than to hurl them into loss and regret. Ling Han, aware and unrepentant, reveled in the quiet mischief of it all. Together, Ling Han and the Empress approached the volcanic maw, guided by the Nine Heavens flame and the flame control technique. Their intent was not merely treasure, but curiosity, a yearning to confront the legend of the celestial king that had left the volcano's heart ablaze. Time had favored no other. Blood dragon stones along the path had been claimed by countless others, leaving only the crucible of fire before them. Their goal was singular, resolute, and monumental. Bewitching Maiden Ru, though less experienced without the Black Tower, pressed onward with determination. Her grasp of the flame control technique was lesser, but her resolve drove her steps ever forward. The blood dragon armor could only protect so much. The closer they drew to the volcano, the more the world's elemental fire pressed against them, testing their strength and endurance. After over a dozen days, the trio arrived at a canyon, a sacred site, closest to the volcano's infernal heart. Here, the blood dragon stones were plentiful, a coveted treasure trove where many cultivators lingered for years, harvesting the crimson gemstones that pulsed with elemental energy An underground stream shielded them from the full intensity of fire, granting the armor respite and the weary cultivator a chance to endure. As Ling Han and the Empress entered the canyon, a group emerged, a sight that drew them to a halt. 5 figures stepped into the open, familiar yet formidable. Fu Gaoyun and his disciples, Fu Xiaoyun and the sharp-eyed Situ Xiaojin. Paths converged in the crucible of fire, destiny awaiting within the canyon's heart. Here, in the shadow of the volcano, the tales of heroes and cultivators intertwined, and the fires of legend were ready to ignite once more.